Fergana vodiysi tinchlik va taraqqiyot yo'lida birdamlik mavzusidagi Farg'ona tinchlik forumining birinchi yig'ilishi o'z ishini boshladi.
Anjuman strategik va mintaqalararo tadqiqotlar instituti tomonidan Progressiv islohotlar markazi Yevropada xavfsizlik va hamkorlik tashkiloti ko'magida tashkil etildi.
Согласно повестке форума, впервые проводится День сплоченности. Главная цель – консолидация усилий государства, гражданских институтов и международных партнеров в укреплении общественного единства и согласия между народами.
Мы тоже войдем в оргкомитет, поможем, чем нужно.
The Fergana Valley, a place where three nations meet and countless stories intertwine. For centuries, its people have shared traditions, languages, and dreams. Today, the valley stands as a symbol of cooperation and peace. On October 1516, the city of Fergana hosted the first Fergana Peace Forum under the slogan, Fergana Valley, uniting for peace and development. This new regional event brought together the leaders of Uzbekistan's Fergana region, Kyrgyzstan's Batken region, and Tajikistan's Sughd region, marking an important step towards strengthening trust and cooperation among the neighboring Central Asian states.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli mehmonlar, qadrli do'stlar, forum qatnashchilari. Sizlarni Farg'onada Markaziy Osiyoning yuragida kutib olishdan chin dildan xursandman. Ilgari bu yerda sharq bilan g'arbni bog'lagan karvonlar yo'lga chiqqan bo'lsa, endi bu yerda yangi yo'l, mintaqaviy birdamlik va bunyodkorlik yo'li boshlanmoqda. Xush kelibsizlar.
And very proud to be able to support this first Fergana Peace Forum, which is a momentous opportunity, I think, for Central Asia. It is showing that the momentum that has been generated by the leaderships of the three nations surrounding the Fergana Valley. And I see how civil society actors are eager to support the government efforts in this regard, and that we have aligned aspirations and hopes. And it is especially encouraging to see something like this happening here when we see so many other places in the world becoming less stable and more insecure and less predictable. Seeing the concerted efforts of governments and society working together to make things more predictable, to make things more collaborative for the benefit of all.
As participants emphasized, the forum was organized as a result of the political will of the leaders of the three republics that share the Fergana Valley. Their efforts to promote dialogue and good neighborly relations have opened a new chapter in regional cooperation borders that once divided people are now turning into zones of collaboration, trade, and shared development.
In my opinion, this is a very natural development which unfortunately was delayed to various sometimes objective, sometimes very subjective reasons. For the first time in so many years, we have Central Asia not as a geographical notion, but as an entity, as a player. Actually, and not only regionally, but also globally. And this is very important development. We see that countries of Central Asia, very much thanks to the current leadership, are finally realizing that potential, economic potential, social potential, political and security-wise, which does exist here. There are so many challenges that societies here in Central Asia, they are facing. And they are, very similar. And sometimes those challenges, they are of the cross-border nature. So unless countries cooperate, and by meaning countries, of course, we're speaking about the political leadership, about the state institutions, but also at the grassroots level. Unless they cooperate, they are not going to solve them. None of them is able to solve those, to face those challenges independently. There is objective need to work together. And I'm extremely happy that there is political will actually to face those challenges together.
OSCE has a lot of experience gathered over many, many years in very many of its different participating states. I think right now Central Asia is really in the driving seat. It's in a leadership role. I think that the political will is there, the political direction has been set. I think that how we can benefit is from the lessons we have learned from other places where you're really translating that political will into practical outputs on the ground, that you are making sure to deal with non-majority accommodation, really good neighbourly relations, good relations between different ethnic groups, good relations cross-border, personal relations, but also in this context particularly, I think one needs to be mindful of cross-border water management, for example, glacier issues. So I think that on those issues, OSCE has some expertise. I think as I said, politically, Central Asia is really providing a real sense of leadership, not just in this region, but I think for the world right now. And we're very keen to support that with the expertise that we have gained in other places which are post-conflict. There's never any one-size-fits-all to a conflict resolution, but there are similar dynamics, and it's always about the relationship between people on the ground, and that's something that I think that we can contribute to.
The forum brought together nearly 300 participants, including around 150 representatives from Central Asian countries and more than 50 participants from the CIS, Asia, Europe, and the Americas.
One of the most basic things that the United States and the Central Asian countries have in common is our respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity of every single country on the planet. That's been, from day one, from independence, right? This is something that we in the United States and in partnership with Uzbekistan and the other countries here have all agreed on. And so, that being the basis of the relationship, and then also seeing, as you say, the Central Asian states live out those principles and solve, things that were long issues, kind of tensions bubbling under the surface, to solve them themselves and get to peace, I think, as you say, it's exactly right. It's an incredible example to the whole world.
Yesterday, when we drove to the ceramic factory, also people are working in the fields. You see tomatoes, grapes, all sorts of agriculture going on, but you also see lots of industry around on small scale and on slightly larger scale. And we were lucky enough to have a tour of the ceramic factory where you're seeing people, really being creative, and that's a really big market. And I think I wish Uzbekistan all the best with continuing on its economic journey. We heard from the local Fergana representative how in 2017 there were 4 investors, and in 2025 there are 30 investors. And I think that that also ties in with a sense of stability, creates a better investor climate. So I think that everything goes hand in hand, and if OSCE is able to make a contribution to the connectivity agenda, to women's economic empowerment, to methodology for combating climate change, and water management, etc., then we're more than happy to do that.
It was emphasized that the Fergana Forum should become a permanent platform aimed at strengthening dialogue and trust, developing a common strategy for the advancement of the Fergana Valley, realizing its economic potential, and enhancing cultural and humanitarian ties.
When you see such positive developments happening here, it is being noticed around the world, and I believe that it will attract interest and investment. Yeah. Because especially when you see other places being less stable, less predictable, you want your resources, your investments to go to places where you can be more sure that it is going to pay off, especially if you have to do long-term investment.
Eduard Stiepres, the European Union's representative for Central Asia, proposed viewing Central Asia not as a peripheral region, but as a connecting point between the East and the West.
It's my sincere belief that with years passing and forums still staying in place, okay, probably migrating around the valleys to other cities and towns here, that it will, really provide good experience and solutions to people around the world.
And I think, frankly, Uzbekistan is already doing a pretty good job of this, is to, in a responsible way, try to get the state out of the economy in some senses, to encourage private business to have a bigger role in the country, and to get the investment both from the domestic economy and from abroad that can spur the growth that I think we all want to see in developing the Uzbek economy and many economies in Central Asia. So I think Uzbekistan has taken some good steps in this direction. I think there are some very excited people in the West who want to see this move faster. They're excited, they want to invest, they want to put money in.
Under the auspices of the Fergana Peace Forum, Intimak Day, Day of Unity, was held. Intimak, which translates from Kyrgyz as Unity, has been held in Kyrgyzstan since 2023 as a platform for strengthening dialogue and trust. This year, the event is being held in Uzbekistan for the first time. The main goal of Intimak is to consolidate the efforts of the state, civil institutions, and international partners in strengthening social unity and harmony between peoples. It was noted that the event reflects the processes of strengthening unity and growing cooperation between countries in the region, embodying the unity of the peoples not only of the Fergana Valley, but of all Central Asia.
Дорогие уважаемые гости, добро пожаловать в Кыргызстан. Никакая техника мы не пользуемся. Почему? Потому что нам самое главное. После первого обжига мы его не можем пользоваться. Его только можем пользоваться как декорация. Они крашены. После крашена окончено мы отправляем к глазури. Есть у нас мастер специально, он только на глазурь отвечает. Глазурь мастер его каждого глазурит, отправляют в печь. Вот рыштанские сами знаменитые цвета, раньше наши предки, они вот эти цветами, они раньше пользовались.
I have no words. I've been going around and trying to understand the history behind it, with all the culture and all the colors and all the different pieces that you can see here. And I'm so impressed how you also like take care of your culture and are very open to show it to with everyone that is here, that is coming from many different places in the world. I think that sets an example for everyone to put your culture in the center, especially today.
Керамику золото мы обжигаем 3-й раз. Вот она. С 12 области все приезжали туда, и наш брат тоже приезжал. Да, он за хорошую услугу, он получал за хорошую услугу от нашего президента. Тоже Эрдоган, да, жена и вот наш уважаемый президент, они оба приезжали вот к фестивалю. Здесь тоже таджикский президент. Эльбек Усманович. Эльбек, not for sale, yes. Just for decoration. And we have on our collection, we have KPM, all German imports.
Speakers, opening panel sessions and discussions.
Mainly blue and red. So you can
issiq hozir. Bu 1000 gradusda pishgan hozir. Bu tayyor holati.
Kept, still preserved.
Bizda Rishtonda o'sha sirlanishni boshlanishi mana. Endi yaltiratib, mana qilib chiqarishdi. Birinchi boshlanish davri mana shulardan boshlangan. 20 soat. 20. Ular o'sha qo'shinlar o'sha. Biz hozir ukam ikkalamiz bitta ishlaymiz. Eski texnologiya. Hali zamonaviy yo'q bizda.
At the conclusion of the forum, it was decided to establish a permanent platform, the Fergana Peace Forum, aimed at fostering dialogue, strengthening mutual trust, and implementing joint projects in the economic, humanitarian, and environmental spheres. The Fergana Forum marked a new stage of regional cooperation, reflecting the Central Asian countries' commitment to sustainable development, open dialogue, and a shared future.